wake that ass up.
Early in the morning.
The Breakfast Club.
Morning, everybody. It's DJ NV, Charlamagne the Guy. We are the Breakfast Club. Let's get in some front page news. Now, some quick sports. Rajan Rondo, used to play for Boston, and then he went to the Lakers for a little bit. He's retired. That's so loud. Yeah. He was arrested for having weed in his car, driving reckless, and a firearm in Indiana last night. So yesterday, actually. So
got to hear both sides. You know what's so crazy? I only saw the headline of that story. The headline looks crazy. The headline is like, Rajan Rondo caught with guns and drugs. Mm-hmm. But you said he was smoking weed.
Yeah, state trooper smelled marijuana coming from the car and started to do a search, and they found a firearm. That was it.
And the firearm, was it legal? Probably.
They're not saying. Oh. But you cannot have a firearm while smoking weed, so I'm sure that was the problem. But they haven't said as of yet.
I'm just saying the headline made him look like some type of kingpin. Like
Absolutely.
He was starring in one of 50 Cent shows.
Okay. Nah, not at all. Now let's talk about Cori Bush, Tiz.
Yep. Missouri Democrat Representative Cori Bush has confirmed that the Department of Justice is investigating her campaign about her hiring her husband for security services. Now, Bush says she is fully cooperating with the investigation. She retained her now husband as a part of her security team and says that he has the experience and he provides the services at or below market rate. She said that as a rank and file member of Congress, I am not entitled to personal protection by the House and instead have used campaign funds to retain security services and that was totally ethical to do. She said that she has not used any federal tax dollars, that is a lie, and that the services is because she needed security because of all of the threats that she received. Take a listen.
Since before I was sworn into office, I have endured relentless threats to my physical safety and life. As a rank and file member of Congress, I am not entitled to personal protection by the House and instead have used campaign funds as permissible to retain security services. I have not used any federal tax dollars for personal security services. Any reporting that I have used funds for personal security is simply false. In recent months, right-wing organizations have lodged baseless complaints against me, peddling notions that I have misused campaign funds to pay for personal security services. That simply is not true.
No, politics is a dirty game, man. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't see what the issue is here. Like, why is this a story? Why can't you hire your husband for security? If he does security, if he has the experience, what's the problem?
Yeah, and what I don't understand, maybe you can help me out, Tez. So if somebody does make a complaint, right, because somebody had to file and say that that's what she was doing, and they found out that that's not what she was doing, what happens to the person that made that false complaint?
Nothing at all. And to your point, DJ MV, they did make this complaint in September 2023 with the Office of Congressional Ethics, and they found no wrongdoing, and the case was dismissed. So this has actually already been a thing that they put to bed, and then yet again, they made a complaint to the Department of Justice, and so now they're doing that investigation. She says she's looking forward to the same outcome.
It's just politics. I understand it. You know what I'm saying? If you feel like you got something on your op, you try to uncover it.
But if they're using resources and finances to check and to find out and to go through this woman's paperwork and all that other stuff, and they find out it's not true,
you got to investigate.
But what happens from there? Like
nothing.
It's a false complaint. You
you got to investigate. That's all they're saying. By the way, she could do the same thing to somebody. She could do the same thing to one of her political ops if she wanted to. If she had something.
Mm-hmm. And speaking of one of her political ops, Donald Trump did spend, that's been in the news this week as well, he spent $50 million of his campaign funds as well to cover legal expenses in 2023. So that's something that Democrats are talking about, on the other side on how he's spending his money. The difference is, though, I will say this, people that are giving him money, they are, aware, that he's spending those resources, and apparently they have no problem with it. But what Cori Bush did was absolutely nothing was wrong with it. She did exactly, it was on the paperwork showing that it was for security services. Mm-hmm. There's nothing wrong with it. You can hire your family members, and particularly if they have the experience. Why should her husband take out time of his day, to protect? He's obviously losing money somewhere, and he has the experience, so pay him for the job. That's right. I'm just going to sign up to be in poverty for the rest of my life. Just makes, no sense for people who run for office. And to your point, Charlamagne, we talked about this off air. This is why people, they tend to not want to get into politics. This is one of the reasons why.
It's interesting, though, because, I've said it over and over. Donald Trump has totally changed the culture of politics. So Stuff like this don't even matter. I see a story like this. Cori Bush is under investigation after hiring husband and security. So what? It pales in comparison to the things that we see, coming from, Donald Trump.
Right.
So it's like he's changed the culture of politics. Stuff like this should not matter when dealing with our elected officials.
Right. The problem is, though, when somebody puts a story out there saying that she did something wrong and they run with it, and they don't actually read the information, like to your point on the story you guys were talking about this morning. The headline, you're going with the headline. She used federal dollars and just ran with it and not even looking into it. And that's the problem. It's caused her more death threats, which needs more security that needs to be paid for. So
now I got to hire my cousin and my brother.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Now I got to hire the whole family. See?
Jesus. All right. Well, that is front page news. Thank you, Tiz. What are we talking about next hour?
Yeah, 7 o'clock, guys, tap in. I want to talk about in Wichita, a Jackie Robinson statue was stolen and burned. I want to tell you about that. And then about more fake news on AI and how they're targeting black celebrities. So we'll talk about that at 7.
And today's Jackie Robinson's birthday as well. All right. Well, get it off your chest. 800-585-1051. If you need to vent, phone lines are wide open again. 800-585-1051. It's The Breakfast Club. Good morning.
Wake that ass up.
In the morning.
The Breakfast Club.
Morning, everybody. It's DJ NV, Charlamagne the Guy. We are The Breakfast Club. Let's get in some front page news. What up, Tiz?
What's going on, DJ Envy? Charlamagne the Guy.
Peace, Ted.
Let's talk Jackie Robinson.
Yeah, today is his birthday. I didn't realize that, DJ Envy, until you brought it up. So certainly rest in peace to Jackie Robinson. And the search is over for a stolen statue. They stole his statue, and the investigators are saying that the statue was found burned beyond repair. This happened in Wichita, Kansas. Let's go to NBC for the report on the details on how the statue was stolen, and then I'll give you some more information.
It's the crime scene reduced to nothing but a pair of bronze cleats, a brazen theft at a public park. That, for many in Wichita, Kansas, is personal.
I was appalled. And then once I saw the photos, I was angry.
Angry over how someone could steal a life-size statue of Jackie Robinson, the first black baseball player to play in the major leagues. His tribute unveiled not even 3 years ago.
I can tell you that we will not stop in our pursuit of the people that stole this from our community.
The crime caught on surveillance video early last Thursday.
They just cut that beautiful statue off at the feet and loaded it into a pickup truck.
Police have since found that very truck, but till NBC News, no sign of the suspects or known motive.
What's the point of that?
That's stupid.
Either you doing that just because you want to disgrace, the legacy of Jackie Robinson, or you damn sure ain't selling it for parts.
No.
So
it's a disgrace. It's disrespectful. They're racist, as you can possibly see.
Mm-hmm.
But why now after all these years?
This is, there's been a lot about statue talk. So this is kind of, the statues that a lot of the Confederate and a lot of the statues that have been taken down. I am assuming, and again, it's just an assumption. We don't know for sure because no motive has been put out there. But, there's been a lot going on with statues, over the last, 6 or 7 years. So they're just hateful to do this. Number one, really no motive to do it. But I did think about, all of the statues that had to get taken down. And is this apparently, is this a get back? We don't know that for sure at this point, but a lot of statue talk. Now, the authorities said they are not sharing the names or the suspects' descriptions because they did find the truck. So to me, if you found the truck, probably a license plate, something that's connected to it, but they have not said that. But police, Joe Sullivan, who you heard there, he said whether you're involved with stealing a statue or you accepted the statue or you were a part of any of it, this is an opportunity to turn yourself in. Now, replacing the statue will cost $75,000. They've been raising money for that. They said they did find they do have the original mold that's been located, and so they hope to get it back up and return the statue to its rightful place. But yeah, they did find it burned to pieces in a trash can.
Yeah, they said they installed that statue in 2021, so it was up a couple of years.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Now, what else we talking about?
Yeah, fake news. YouTube creators targeting black celebrities with AI-generated misinformation. NBC News reviewed a dozen YouTube channels posting what appears to be AI-generated fake news with manipulated media, fake pictures that they also are creating with this fake content about black celebrities. Meaning these videos they said that it's clickbait, meaning the YouTube video titles and thumbnails indicate narratives or allegations that aren't even in the videos themselves. I've seen these types of videos numerous times, and some of these videos have millions of views. They said the average number of these types of videos generate 21 million views. Now, in a statement to NBC News, a spokesperson for YouTube said the platform reviewed and took down a number of these channels, flagged them, and has terminated them for violating their violating the terms and conditions on YouTube.
Hey, man, psychological operations, informational warfare. That's what we're dealing with every day. You know, World War III is happening right now, and the battlefield is our brains. And reality as we know it is constantly under attack. And I don't see any defense except God-given discernment. And that's probably not enough either in this era.
Yeah, it's very sad. It's very scary. I know some of the tech giants are going to be in D.C. on Capitol Hill today. They're trying to ban some of the kids from being able to use these social media platforms because they're saying they're being addicted to it. And that's part of it is when you're creating all this fake news and these kids are starting with these fake news and there's no way to check this fake news. This is very scary. This is very scary, especially with election year. Like, this is very scary.
I say it all the time. Believe none of what you hear and none of what you see nowadays. It used to be believe all of what you hear and half of what you see, right? Oh, no, it used to be believe none of what you hear and half of what you see.
Right.
Now it's believe none of what you hear and none of what you see, including us talking right now.
That's right.
Because we might be AI.
We are.
Okay. No, but
they say I'm AI every day, by the way, because I'm on the screen. They say I'm AI.
I do want to say, though, I feel like, you know, what a lot of people do in this space is even more important now. And by this space, I mean, like, you know, radio, you know, certain podcast hosts, certain television hosts, because people have to find voices they can trust. Like, you don't have to agree with everything we say here on The Breakfast Club. You don't have to like everything we say here on The Breakfast Club, but at least you know we real people. You know what I'm saying?
But the sad part is some of the people that these people trust are liars. They're not saying the true news.
Well, that's why I said some. I ain't say all.
But how do people decipher who's telling the truth and who's not?
You got to figure that out for yourself. Like, how long have you been listening to a person? You know, what platform is that person on?
We just heard at least 20 people tell us that Jess Hilarious wasn't going to be working here because of some inside stuff that they heard that wasn't true.
But that's been going on. That's gossip and rumors, though. That's been going on since the beginning of time. Like, literally the only difference between now and back in the 80s is the platform. Because back then,
we know that, though. But what about the people that trusted those people that were saying it with absolute confidence, though?
That's on them. We do that all the time. Like, listen, everybody in this room has been victim of that. Literally.
That's right.
That's why you have to make sure that when you're in this position that you're in, you are the one that's getting all the actual accurate information. You can't fall victim to the fake news. You can't fall victim to the fake headlines. Actually read the stories so your listeners can say, well, at least I know that person, you know, did their due diligence and they're giving me every single correct detail of the situation.
Right.
It's really just on us as personalities.
Well, I also think it's on us if you've made a mistake. You know, like I made a mistake yesterday. I said Georgia instead of Jordan. So I made a mistake. I had a slip of the tongue. So what about these personalities that need to come forward and say, you know what, I made a mistake. Well, I misled y'all. Is anybody gonna do that or what?
But that's how you gain trust. That right there is how you gain trust. That's why I said at least you may not agree with everything we say. You don't have to like everything we say, but at least you know we real, because that's part of being real, right? If I make a mistake, if I put something out there that's not true, I say, hey man, that was wrong.
Right.
That's how you gain trust in people. And that's up to the personality. And it's up to the person that's listening to that personality.
That's right.
It's also, like you said, some people just like mess though too. You know, let's just talk about that. Some people just like continuing to just have drama and mess. And when somebody's literally telling you what it is, and then you run with it, and then you tell them no, that wasn't what it is, and they still running with the lie.
That's always been around. It's always been tabloids. It's always been, you know, gossipers. It is what it is.
It just moves a lot faster now though, because the social media. I mean, it really can ruin somebody's whole life. I mean,
it's not just entertainment anymore.
No,
like back, it's not just entertainment you're gossiping about. You're gossiping about real life issues that can cause people real life problems.
That's right.
All right. Well, that is your, I was going to say rumor report. That is your front page news. Thank you, Tez.
And make sure you follow at Tezlin Figueroa on all social media platforms and subscribe the at Tezlin Figueroa's podcast. It's Great Shot, No Chase on the Black Effect iHeartRadio Podcast Network.
All right. Now, when we come back, Republican presidential candidate Nikki Haley will be joining us, and we're going to talk to her next. So don't move. It's The Breakfast Club. Good morning.
Wake that ass up.
Early in the morning.
The Breakfast Club.